Picture a little boy, barely 8 years old, curled up in the corner of an old ranch house in West Texas. His legs itch against the scratchy Berber carpet, his oversized shirt hangs loose, and his Spider-Man underwear peeks out as he tucks himself into a ball. He's still damp from a rushed, cold shower, shivering a bit, but his face is lit up with a grin that stretches ear to ear. Why? Because tonight, he's surrounded by giants, not just in size, but in presence. His great-grandfather, a federal judge, his grandfather, father, uncles, cousins, all trial lawyers, fill the room with booming voices and wild stories. It's opening weekend of hunting season in the Hill Country, and for the first time, he's one of them. 14 men, swapping tales over IBC root beer and beef jerky, and he's soaking in every word like it's pure magic. That night wasn't just a memory, it was a spark. As the boy watched his grandfather leap off the couch, hands waving, voice rising and falling like a roller coaster, he didn't just hear a story about a courthouse. He felt it. The room roared with laughter at the punchline, and for nearly 10 minutes, everyone hung on every syllable. Then, one by one, the others took their turns, cousins, his dad, even the great-grandfather, each weaving courtroom dramas that danced between tension and humor. The boy stayed quiet, knees tucked into his shirt, beef jerky still clutched in his hand, until he drifted off to sleep. But something clicked that night. It wasn't about law, though that was the family trade. It was about communication, how words could grip a room, shift a mood, and leave a mark that lasted years. Fast forward a decade or two, and that same boy, now a man, stands in a deposition room, facing a mountain of a person named Bobby Lapre. Bobby's a witness in a bar fight case, a hulking figure in tan coveralls, his name stitched in black thread over his chest. His handshake alone could crush a walnut, and his glare feels like it might burn through the wall. The air's thick as the court reporter sets up, the opposing attorney shifts nervously, and Bobby's already bristling before a single question lands. Routine stuff comes first, simple things like what time he got to the bar, who he saw. Easy, open-ended prompts to piece together the night, but Bobby's not having it. His eyebrows knit tighter with every answer, his breathing shifts from nose to mouth, heavy and sharp, and his massive hands ring together like he's twisting a towel dry. The tension builds until it's almost a living thing in the room. Finally, Bobby snaps. "You can cut all this buddy-buddy stuff," he growls, slamming a hand on the table, a finger jabbing the air. "You lawyers are the worst thing to happen to America. All you do is lie. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you." The court reporter flinches, the other attorney, a gray-haired man past 65, shoots a wide-eyed glance that screams, "You're on your own." For a split second, anger flares. Stupid questions? The urge to fire back is right there, sharp retorts about Bobby's size or smarts bubbling up. But then a memory flickers. That night in the ranch house, the way stories turned conflict into connection. And something shifts. What if Bobby's not the enemy here? What if he's just a guy carrying a load of distrust, built from years of feeling steamrolled by the system? Maybe he's not mad at the questions, he's mad at what they represent. So instead of biting back, the response is calm, steady. "Yes, sir." It's not a challenge, it's an invitation. Bobby rants a bit more, but the heat starts to fade. The deposition rolls on, and by the end, he's answering without the snarl. No one wins, but the room doesn't explode either. That's the trick, not fighting to be right, but finding a way to keep talking. It's a lesson that echoes back to those West Texas nights. Communication isn't about dominating. It's about navigating. Now imagine sitting in a truck, phone propped up selfie style, recording a 47-second clip. No fancy studio, no script, Just a guy in a polo and suit jacket, a pink car seat and sippy cup in the back. The topic: how to argue like a lawyer. Keep your questions short, he says. Don't let emotions run the show, and too much cursing, it's like over-seasoning your food, ruins the whole dish. At the end, he tosses out, "Try that and follow me," hand to his mouth like he's sealing the deal. He posts it, expecting nothing. 0 views had been the norm so far. He'd even Googled why his videos flopped. But this time, something wild happens. An hour later, thousands have watched. By the next day, it's millions. That messy, real moment in the truck strikes a chord, not because it's polished, but because it's raw. People don't care about the car seat or the sloppy outfit. They hear someone talking straight to them, no upsell, no gimmick. Messages flood in. What do I say to my boss who shoots down my ideas? How do I talk to my daughter after years apart? What about my partner who always has to be right? Thousands of pleas, all boiling down to one thing, not what to say, but how. They know what they feel: hurt, frustration, hope, but turning that into words that work. That's the gap, and that's where this journey pivots. It's not about legal battles or courtroom wins anymore. It's about handing people tools to bridge that gap, drawn from a life spent wrestling words into shape. Think about a 3rd grader paired with a kid named Evan in a reading buddy program. Evan's huge for his age, towering over everyone, but he stumbles over books like Brown Bear, Brown Bear. Twice a week, they sit on beanbags in the library, and Evan struggles to sound out words. At first, it's confusing. How can someone so big not get this? But then the pieces click. Evan's clothes hang off him, too big, hand-me-downs maybe. His lunch comes from the cafeteria, not a brown bag with a smiley face like Mama used to make. One day, trying to explain throw and through, the suggestion is, like throwing a ball to your dad. Evan's flat reply: "I don't know who my dad is." The air freezes. Suddenly, it's not about reading anymore, it's about seeing him. So the approach shifts. Words get tied to things. Evan likes animals, colors, stuff in the room. Throw becomes tossing a pretend ball to the bear on the page. It's clunky, but it works. Evan starts to light up, little by little. That's the first taste of it. Communication isn't one-size-fits-all. It's about meeting someone where they are at, not where you think they should be. Years later, that lesson sticks when facing Bobby Lapre or recording truck videos. It's not about forcing your point, it's about finding theirs. Now picture a family of 4 kids, the oldest barely 13, playing big brother to the rest. Sarah, the littlest, toddles over with a pacifier, squealing, "Do you like it?" as she offers invisible pancakes. The answer's a goofy, delicious, gobbling the air with a grin. She beams. Jonathan, a bit older, stammers out Bubba over and over, struggling with consonants. Patience helps, repeating his words back, nodding slow, and he calms down, feeling heard. Jacob, the youngest boy, is a firecracker, big emotions, quick temper. Slow words and a low voice settle him. Sometimes a hug says more than anything. Each one's different, each needs a tweak, a unique key to unlock them. Mediating fights over a Polly Pocket toy becomes second nature. Stop the yelling, hear both sides, decide whose turn it is, set a compromise. It works. That early dance with siblings plants a seed. Communication is power, but only if you wield it right. Fast forward to law school, then 10 years as a trial lawyer, and it's the same game. Depositions, cross-examinations, jury arguments, every day's a clash with someone paid to make you lose. But law school teaches contracts, not connection. The real stuff, reading people, diffusing tension, comes from those kid years, from ranch house nights, from Evan's quiet struggles. Here's a question: what's the hardest conversation you've ever dodged? Maybe it's telling a friend they've hurt you, or facing a boss who's crossed a line. Whatever it is, the gut twist is the same. half wanting to speak, half dreading the fallout. That's where control comes in. Not control over them, but over you. Take a deposition gone sideways. Bobby Lapre's hulking frame looms, his voice booms, and the room feels like it's shrinking. The instinct is to match his heat, to push back, but instead a breath. A quick scan, head pounding, shoulders tight, ears hot. Okay, that's anger. Why? Because stupid questions stings. It's not about Bobby, it's about pride. So the breath stretches, slow through the nose, out through the mouth. Heart slows, head clears. Yes, sir. Comes out steady, not sharp. Bobby vents, but the fuse doesn't light. That's the shift. Control isn't winning the fight, it's choosing not to fight. It's knowing your triggers, pride, fear, whatever, and not letting them steer. Imagine trying that next time your temper flares. Pause, breathe, scan. What's driving you? Hurt? Insecurity? Name it, and it loses half its grip. Now think about pacing a conversation like you're driving a car. Too fast, you crash, words spill, tempers spike. Too slow, you stall, awkward silences kill the flow. Another deposition, another witness, this time a guy who's cagey, dodging questions about a car wreck. The first instinct is to rapid fire, pin him down, but he clams up tighter, so the pace shifts. A question lands, what you see after the crash, then a pause. Not a quick beat, but a long, heavy silence. 5 seconds, 10. He fidgets, shifts in his seat, finally blurts, "The driver was yelling about his brakes." That pause, it's a pry bar, cracking open what rushing couldn't. Later in a trial, an expert witness spins a slick story, too slick. Mid-cross-examination, a curveball question, "How much did they pay you for that report?" Then silence. The room holds its breath. He stammers, standard rates, but his polish cracks. Jurors lean in. That's the power of a pause. It's not passive. It's a move, a way to steer without shouting. Next time you're stuck in a tense back and forth, try it. Ask something sharp, then wait. Let the quiet do the work. Here's a twist. Ever notice how saying sorry can backfire? Picture a meeting, someone cuts you off, dismisses your idea. "Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble," you say, trying to smooth it. But inside, it stings. Why apologize for them being rude, or take a family spat? Your sister snaps about dinner plans, and you mumble, "Sorry, I guess I messed up." She keeps going, and you're left smaller. That's the trap, over-apologizing hands over your power. It's not peace, it's surrender. Contrast that with a courtroom moment. A witness throws a jab, your questions are pointless. The old habit tugs, say sorry, keep it polite, but instead the response is, they're pointless if you don't answer them. No apology, just a steady pivot. The witness huffs but moves on. That's assertive, not aggressive, not meek. It's owning your space. Imagine flipping that script in your life. Someone belittles you, you're overreacting. Instead of sorry, maybe I am, try, I'm reacting how I feel. Short, clear, firm, watch how it shifts the air. Boundaries fit here too. Think of a neighbor who borrows tools and never returns them. At first, it's fine, lend the hammer, the ladder, but months pass and your garage is half empty. Saying no feels rude, so you don't. Resentment festers. Then one day he asks for the drill. "I need that one myself," you say, calm but solid. He blinks, nods, walks off. No fight, no guilt, just a line drawn. That's a boundary, not a wall to shut people out, but a fence to guard what's yours. It's not selfish, it's survival. Without it, you're a doormat, and no one respects a doormat. Ever wonder why some talks spiral into shouting matches? Picture a husband and wife, let's call them Jake and Mia, arguing over who forgot the grocery list. Jake says, "You always drop the ball." Mia fires back, "You never plan anything." 5 minutes in, they're yelling about dishes from last week. That's defensiveness. It's not about the list anymore, it's about proving who's less wrong. Walls go up, ears shut down. Jake hears blame, not Mia's frustration. Mia hears attack, not Jake's stress. They're dug in, and connection's gone. Now imagine Jake pauses. Hold on, he says, voice low. You're mad because I forgot, right? Mia nods, still bristling. Yeah, and you act like it's all on me. Jake breathes. I don't mean to, I'm fried from work. A beat. What's got you so wound up? Mia softens. I'm juggling the kids solo. Suddenly, it's not a war, it's a window. That's the antidote. Slow down, ask, listen. Not you're wrong, but why is this hitting you hard? It's messy, imperfect, but it cracks the wall. Difficult people make this tougher. Say you've got a coworker, call him Tom, who loves cutting you down. In a meeting, you pitch an idea and he smirks. That'll never work, too basic. The room goes quiet. Old you might shrink, mutter an apology. New you? It's basic because it's clear, you say, eyes steady. He doubles down, still won't fly. You nod, maybe not, what's your fix? He's got nothing and the table sees it. Deflection, not defense. Tom's baiting for a fight, don't bite. Redirect, keep your cool, let his jab hang empty. Or take interruptions. Your uncle at Thanksgiving, steamrolling your story about a promotion with his fishing trip. That's great, he cuts in, but last week I caught a bass this big. You could snap or wait. Let him finish, then pick up. Glad you had fun. Anyway, my boss said. Smooth, not sharp. He might barge in again, but each time you hold your thread. It's not about silencing him, it's about not losing you. That's control not over him, but over your voice. Here's a wild stat. Did you know your brain's stress switch flips in seconds? When Bobby Lepre slammed that table, the amygdala, the brain's alarm bell, lit up like a firework. Heart racing, ears buzzing, all in a flash. That's why arguments feel like roller coasters, one spark and you're off. But here's the flip. A few deep breaths can hit the brakes. Nose in, mouth out, 5 seconds each. It's not magic, it's biology. The parasympathetic system kicks in, dials down the panic. Next time your blood's up, try it, feel the shift. It's not weak, it's wired in. Zoom out to a bigger fight, a trial, stakes sky high. Clement Lee's on the stand, a mechanic caught in a lawsuit over a botched repair. He's surly, evasive, arms crossed. I fixed it right, he grumbles. Questions dig deeper, dates, parts, receipts, he squirms. I don't keep every scrap of paper. The jury's watching. A pause lands, long and deliberate. So you've got no proof. Silence stretches. Clement shifts, mutters, guess not. The room feels it, his story's thin. That's communication as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Precision, timing, control. What ties all this together? It's not about winning, it's about reaching. That boy on the carpet didn't dream of beating people with words. He saw them weave bonds, spark laughs, shift hearts. Bobby wasn't an enemy to crush, he was a guy to hear. Evan wasn't a puzzle to solve, he was a kid to meet. Siblings, witnesses, followers asking for help, it's all the same thread. Communication isn't a weapon, it's a bridge. Messy, human, flawed, but when you build it right, it holds. So where does that leave us? It's simple, really. Every word you sling ripples out past the room, past the moment. That ranch house chatter shaped a life. A truck video touched millions. A quiet yes sir turned a rant into a talk. It's not about being loudest or slickest. It's about showing up real, steady, clear, open. Next time you're face to face, heart pounding, ask yourself, am I here to fight or to find them? Take that breath, pace it out, say what matters. You might not change the world, but you'll change that conversation, and that's enough.